Adebowale Adeyinka Hassan. I'll be presenting to you about software versioning. This presentation will cover what software versioning is, the methods of software versioning, and the benefits of software version control system. Software versioning is the process of assigning either unique version names or numbers to unique state of computer software. These numbers are generally assigned in increasing order and correspond to new development in the software. The concept of versioning is not new in the world, but by the time we add the other word, which is software, then we mean to explain how it is being done in the software development world. I can remember back in the days, the first type of versioning I knew then was the black and white photograph. Then we usually know that it's cheaper than the other type, which is colored. Then I don't think the other version is still very much around, the black and white. But from that concept, I believe the concept of versioning is not new to everyone. Even with the food we eat, everything has version. And with different versions, you have your expectation of what you are getting. If someone says he has a version of, for example, an iPhone, you know what to expect from it. Then that brings us to explaining what software versioning is in development world. Then how is it being done and why is it done? So versioning can be done to indicate a milestone in development. So this is when version relates to improve functionality or bug fix in software development. If you look at the example I have on the screen now, I have an example of Microsoft Word. Everyone knows today that you expect someone using the latest version of Microsoft Word, I think that's what 16 or 19 now, to have a better functionality or feature than someone using even 2013, then not to talk of what you have in what 2003. And I don't even think a lot of people are still using it. And if you are using it, then this presentation will bring you to understand why you have to upgrade the version of any software you have on your system now. So yes, software versioning can also be done for other reasons apart from new development in the functionality of the software. So this practice in which a company produces different models of essentially the same product and then charges different prices for each model. Like I mentioned in the earlier example I stated, using iPhone, when we are talking of versioning, we don't mean to compare two different products. We are comparing the same product, one being the earlier release and the other one being the maybe latest or further release. So if someone says he's using iPhone maybe 4 now or any other product, like let's be specific with iPhone now. So you expect that person to not to have some functionality on their phone compared to somebody maybe using iPhone 13 now. And as you can see on my screen, I use an illustration of what Microsoft is doing. So though it's not because they don't have a new functional, they're having different functionality, that's why they have different packages. So the idea of marketing with versioning has to do with customers' willingness to pay. For example, now, even Google Gmail we use for free. Some other people use it as a paid version because of the functionality they get for it, or they have additional benefits they get from it. So for example, now if you decide to go for Microsoft Family Package, you pay higher than somebody who is going for the personal package. And for students too, because of the added functionality, they pay more for the package too. So it depends on the strategy you want to use to to attract more revenue for your organization. You can decide to change the type of versioning or type of package you release to your customers. And I think this year, Bincom is doing a package called Premium that has that most of the package you get from us are free until you need a premium package. So yes, like I said earlier, versioning is not a new concept, and there are a lot of different ways by which versioning is being done. The first one here is the semantic numbering. This is the method widely used in the software development. Then we have the date of release. Then we have a unary numbering, alphanumeric code, and a sequential numbering system. So irrespective of the type of numbering system, your versioning system you use, we expect you to be consistent, because that's part of what is the methodology of you doing versioning. So customers should, for example, to know what to expect when you have a new version release. And in this presentation, I will use the semantic numbering system to explain what a software versioning procedure should look like. So the semantic versioning system is a system that has 3 parts majorly, though you can have more than 3 parts. Then I will explain why that is possible. But majorly, you basically have 3 parts. And in this part of my presentation, I will like to engage my audience. So the semantic versioning system usually has 3 parts. The first part being to denote a major release in the version of the software, and usually associated with backward incompatible change to the software. The other part being the minor release. The second part, as you can see on my screen, I use 3 here, is used to denote a backward compatible new functionality being added to a version of the computer system software. And the third part, being the patch release, is used to denote a backward compatible bug fix in the software. So I would like to to ask my audience some questions here now. Can anyone just tell me if 1 has to change to 2 in this versioning system, what type of release do we have? Hello? Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, I'm asking if one in this system of versioning changes to 2, what type of release do we have?
Is that not
major release?
Yes, that's major release, and it's due to the fact that there's a backward incompatible change to the software. Then you have, when you have 3 changing into maybe 4 or 5 now, that's, that's a change in a backward compatible new features being added. Then the other part being the patch release. Then you can have other parts for pre-release, but these 3 parts are the most used in the software development world. So beware of breaking changes, and breaking changes are usually associated with major release. So I explained why dividing software versioning, like I said, the number are usually in increasing order. Now, you don't expect version 1.3.2 to change to version 1.2.2. So the number are usually being increasing order. So when 1 changes into 2 now, that's a major change, and it's usually related to backward incompatible change. So a lot of people might be thinking this presentation, I'm not a developer, or I'm not a software developer here now. So why does this concern me? So yes, it really concerns you, because almost everyone uses a software at one time or the other. So then you might be asked to maybe upgrade a version of software you have on your system or your phone, or any device you have. And this might help you to understand why you have to do that. For example, now, if you have a major release of a particular software, then maybe you have version 6 on your phone or system, and there is a version 7 release. Then you know what to expect, that okay, once there's a major release, now I have to upgrade, because there are some things that are likely to break in my code while using the software. So that's what to know, that this is when it's very necessary for us to upgrade the version of the system when most of the, especially there's a major release of the software, because there are some things that might have broken. Then the third part here, which is the patch release, backward incompatible bug fix. So this helps the software developers a lot, because by the time you release your software to the market, then you always seek to receive feedback from your user, because no idea is fully formed. So as user use your software, there's likelihood of you having some issues. Then when those issues come around and you fix them, then you know that, okay, I have to increase the patch version of my system, of my software. Then there's this concept called version control, which is also known as the source control. It's the practice of tracking and managing changes to software code. Yes, we don't just change the numbers like I said earlier. Then it's usually because of like an improvement in the software we are trying to develop or we are using. So the version control help high-performing development and DevOps teams. Like in one of my earlier presentations I did, I think that was last year, talking about 7 things every developer should know. One of those things is that you should deploy early and often. So those people in charge of deployment, those are the DevOps people. So they are the ones that, okay, because your software doesn't just stay in the development environment, you have to move it to the production environment. So if you have a very good version control, so it assists your DevOps team to be able to deploy your code easily. So there are a number of version control systems. We have JIT, we have Mercurial, we have SVN, and we have CVS. So the most popular one most of us use is JIT, but irrespective of the version control system you use, you are likely to get the same benefit from all. So let's talk about the benefit of software version control system. So it helps to keep complete long-term change history of every file, so that you won't lose track of what maybe you did something. You are trying to work on this on your source code, on your software, and maybe you made a change and something got broken. You can always go back to the previous version and start all over again from there, so you don't miss anything while you are developing your software. Then the other thing is branching and merging. This helps multiple team members working on the same project. So you'll be able to, if you do this right, you'll be able to like develop faster. Maybe somebody working on different modules. For example, we have social lender in Bincom where a lot of developer works on them. So somebody can decide to, can be assigned to work on maybe a particular module, maybe module insurance, or module cash request, or module payment. So they can work independently and be able to like merge their changes together. Then we talk about traceability. So every time you like add a new change to your software version, you are required to like do a commit. There's a commit message you have to add to the new change you made. So if you do your commit very well, then you have your commit message speaking about what change you have actually effected. So it helps other people to like, okay, what change has this person done to the software? Why does he have to commit, and the rest? Then it also helps while providing technical support. So most of the time, it's not those people in charge of development that are in charge of the technical support, especially when you have a large community around this particular software. So by the time somebody maybe calls a customer and starts saying that he got in an issue using the software. So it helps the technical person, the support person in charge to be able to say, okay, what version of software are you currently working on? Then if there's a fix already done on that, it's going to say straight away. Then if there's no fix or there's an issue that has to be escalated, and just say, okay, we work on this and we try to improve in our next release. So in conclusion, it is possible to develop software without using any version control. So doing so subjects the project to a huge risk that no professional team would be advised to accept. So the question is not whether to use software version control, but which version control system to use. So I believe this presentation will have brought to everyone's understanding that software version is not just being done for doing sake. It's being done for a reason, because there's an improvement in the software you are trying to release. That's why you have to change the software version, and it helps you to keep track of everything you do. So if you have not been using software version before, so now is the time for you to start using it, because it helps a lot. So as you continue to improve on your software, so you have to try to use the best version control system, or the best version control method you choose to use. So thank you very much for the audience. So I'm open to questions now before I start asking my own question. So anyone has a question can ask now, please. Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
So I said anyone that has a question can ask now before I evaluate the audience. Victor, is there any question?
Well, well, you basically talked about everything, and I think I understand most of the part, because you know, we always need upgrade because of a lot of things. Maybe the people that brought about the new version, obviously I've seen receive a lot of feedback from people saying maybe it's bugging or stuff like that, and they try to, you know, fix it in the next version, and you know, to upgrade the security of the phone or system or wherever the software package might be. So I think I understand what you're saying.
Okay. Thank you very much for that. We have project managers here. So Olivia, do you have any question? Hello?
No, I don't.
Okay, all right. So let me ask my questions now. When does anyone have to take action when there's a new version release? Semantic.
I'm sorry, can you come again with the question, sir?
Okay, I said, when do users have to take actions when there is a software release?
Well, when there is a major release, I think we need to take action.
Okay, that is when it is very necessary for someone to, yes, that's correct. So Covenant, please, how many parts does a semantic numbering system has? Covenant?
Yes, it has 3 parts, if I'm correct.
Okay, thank you very much. And Matthew Monday, is he here?
No, Monday is not here.
Okay,